When can I get back to driving? This is a question that I commonly hear after someone or their loved one has had a stroke. And while the answer is different for everyone, there are usually several steps that you'll need to go through to see if you're ready to get back on the road. Before we get into it, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and like this video if you find it helpful. We are still a small, growing nonprofit, and as our subscriptions grow, YouTube shows our videos to more people. And this means that we can reach more survivors around the globe. All right, let's get into it. Assessments. Before driving after a stroke, you'll need to go through several different assessments to evaluate your driving readiness. And these include a medical assessment, where your healthcare team is gonna look at your overall health and any limitations affecting your ability to drive safely. There will likely be a cognitive assessment to evaluate your attention, reaction time, memory, decision-making, and problem-solving skills. A visual assessment may also be required to look at your visual acuity, your visual field, depth perception, and other visual functions that are necessary for safe driving. Of course, a physical assessment will be done to look at any remaining physical issues that you continue to deal with after your stroke and whether or not you might need adaptive equipment. Now, the cognitive, visual, and physical assessments may also be looked at together more functionally using a driving simulator assessment. Some rehabilitation centers offer these types of assessments, which allow you to practice driving in a more controlled environment, and they assess your driving performance without the risks of actually being on the road driving. They simulate driving in an almost video game-like environment. Once your assessments are done, there are usually a few different outcomes. 1, your physician may go ahead and give you the green light, pun intended, to start driving again if they think that you're going to be safe on the road. 2, it's just an outright no. Your healthcare team says that you're not going to be able to operate a vehicle safely or drive safely on the road. And 3, there is an in-between. If your physician or therapist find that you do have the skills that are necessary to drive, but you might still need to work on some of those areas or get adaptive equipment for driving, you might then be referred for driving rehabilitation. Driving rehab. Programs like this can help you to develop and improve skills that you'll need to drive safely. Local rehab hospitals in mid-size or large cities often have a driving rehab program, and you can call around to rehab hospitals that are near you to see where the closest one is. Now, typically, you're going to be working with an occupational or physical therapist who has specialized training in driving rehab. And here are some of the things that you might work on in a driving rehab program. So just like with any stroke rehab, physical exercises are going to be very important. These will help you focus on improving strength, coordination, balance, and range of motion for safe driving. They will likely focus on whole body approach to make sure that arms, legs, and core are moving the best way they can. If you experience cognitive or thinking issues after a stroke, you're likely going to go through some cognitive training as well. Specifically, cognitive training is going to focus on improving your attention, safety, memory, decision-making, time management, and multitasking skills. All of these are necessary to help you process information quickly and make appropriate judgments while driving. If you have vision issues, you're likely going to need vision exercises, adaptations, or a combination of both. So visual exercises would focus on improving visual field, depth perception, and scanning skills in preparation for the multitude of visual actions that we use during driving. Adaptations might include things like special lenses, glasses, extra mirrors, etc., to help compensate for visual issues. Now, once you've made progress in your off-road rehab, you may start on-road assessment and training to look at your driving skills in the real world. Now, this will be done gradually, perhaps starting you out in a parking lot similar to when you first started to learn to drive and working your way up to actually getting on the road. This will allow your therapist to provide targeted feedback and additional training to address specific areas of improvement. And it's also going to give your therapist a chance to make assistive device or car modification recommendations to make driving easier and safer for you. These might include things like hand controls, pedal extenders, steering wheel modifications, and more. As you gain confidence and demonstrate safe driving skills, your therapist is gradually going to expose you to different driving conditions and practice driving in different settings and environments. This is gonna help you build your experience and adapt to the demands of different road environments. Getting back to driving after a stroke often requires careful consideration, assessment, and rehabilitation. If things go well with your rehab, hopefully your physician will give you the go-ahead to get back on the road. And while you may be itching to get behind the wheel, and understandably so, your safety and the safety of others on the road should always be the top priority. All right, everyone, that's it for today. Leave me a comment and let me know, were you able to start driving after your stroke? Did you have to go through a driving rehab program? And as always, I'm gonna be leaving a link down in the description if you'd like to sign up for the email list, and that also gets you a free copy of my ebook, The Stroke Recovery Pocket Guide. And if you do find value in what we do here at Post Stroke, please consider gifting us, either by giving us a super thanks by clicking the button in the YouTube bar below, by giving us a one-time donation via PayPal, or by becoming a Patreon member, where in exchange for a monthly donation, you get access to cool perks like social media shoutouts, behind the scenes footage, and even YouTube shoutouts, of which I have a few today. Thank you all so much for contributing at the Empower level. We cannot do what we do without you. And of course, thank you so much to all of our other Patreon supporters. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.